Wanted to make this video after Saturday's game against the Senators. Unfortunately, because they blew a 2-0 lead last night to the Sharks in the third period, this video needs to be made today. The team has not had its groove since Christmas, and we have seen that. It's been clear. Every single one of us have seen that. They are 6-7-2 since Christmas Day. They are 14th in the NHL in the power play, 26th in the NHL in the penalty kill, 9th in faceoff percentage, so that's a drop. Igor Shesterkin has all 6 wins with an .892 save percentage and a 2.74 goals against. Jonathan Quick has not gotten a win in the new year. When Artemi Panarin isn't going, this team cannot score goals. The 5-on-5 offense has completely dried up, and this whole team is having trouble getting through the neutral zone with speed. They're the slowest team ever. They cannot skate with speed. They don't score rush goals anymore. I mean, they score no rush goals. They don't score 2-on-1 goals. They don't score breakaway goals. This team is not full of slow players. They are playing a slow game. 2 years ago, Mika Zibanejad was flying through the neutral zone, and it looks like he's got cinder blocks on his skates now. Chris Kreider, same thing. That guy is such an explosive skater, and his skating has slowed down. It's unacceptable how this team could generate offense right now, especially from its team's top players. Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider, two guys I just mentioned, they're slowing down. Last night, a blown 2-goal lead, and I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights. The team's top players need to be its top players, plain and simple. You are paying Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider way too much money to not be its team's top players. I know Kaapo Kakko's coming in now and playing with Zibanejad and Kreider. That line has played a bit better, but not really resulting in the 5-on-5 goals still. The bottom 6, well, it's not really an explosive bottom 6 offensively either. It's very okay that this team doesn't ooze goals, but the fact that the sponge is dry is unbelievable. Artemi Panarin is the only reason why this team is still first place in the division. I cannot believe the New York Rangers are in first place after the skid that they've been on since Christmas. Listen, I think that they can get it together. I think hopefully they still are somehow stringing together wins. They are still first in the division. But the lack of 5-on-5 scoring is going to come back and bite them. I don't know what they can do right now with what they have to fix it. Alexis Lafreniere can't buy a goal right now. This team can't buy a goal. But Alexis Lafreniere especially, man, he can't seem to find the way to finish on his chances. And it's really starting to hurt the team now. He's having a great season. His best season of his career. But the fact that he's not resulting in these goals, it's a problem. This team needs to find someone to put the puck in the back of the net. It can't be Panarin, who's actually finally shooting the puck. Could you imagine if Artemi Panarin wasn't shooting the puck as much as he is this year? What would be happening right now? Adam Fox, who shoots the puck also, is shooting the puck a lot this year. He would be the one that would be leading the offense. I mean, there's not a single forward right now other than Artemi Panarin who I'm confident throwing out and thinking they can score in a 5-on-5 situation. Come on. This team's top players are not even coming close to playing like its top players right now. It's only January. We're about to hit the All-Star break. They have a lot of time to figure this out. I don't know if they have the top 6 right now personnel to really have that lethal 5-on-5 scoring they're looking for. We're going to hope Kaapo and Lafreniere within the next 2 or 3 weeks, maybe Chris Drury has a trade in place over the next 2 weeks. We know he likes making that early February deal. That's 2 weeks away. We'll see what ends up happening. They've got the 2 games against Vegas and Ottawa this weekend, and then it's the All-Star break. They've got some time to figure it out, but it's such a long season. It really is. 82 games is such a long season. We're only halfway through. Had a really good high. Now we're at a really low, but somehow the Rangers are still in first place. 6-7-2, like I said, since Christmas Day. The Rangers are going to try to figure it out. I do want to talk about Igor Shesterkin really quickly as well. I think we all need to realize he is not Henrik Lundqvist. I think I've said that before. He's not Henrik Lundqvist. He is Igor Shesterkin. He is going to be his own goalie. He is going to write his own chapter in the New York Rangers history book. Let him get through what he needs to get through. We're lucky Jonathan Quick has played as well as he's played. I need him to be better than how he's playing for the playoffs. I don't think I've ever seen him play as bad as he's been playing. This might be his worst season, yet he's an all-star. Congratulations to him. Maybe it might not be his worst season to everybody's standards, but I think there's another level to Igor Shesterkin that he kind of retreated from last season. I need him to get at least back to last season. The season before that, would love even more, to really turn back the clock to 2022. Really pull out that Igor Shesterkin. That's the Igor Shesterkin that I want. That's Igor Shesterkin. That's my number one goalie. I need the power play to improve. I need the penalty kill to improve. The Rangers' bottom six is looking very thin. Chytil, great news on the injury front, has returned back to New York. Hasn't skated with the team yet, but he might be nearing a return within the next couple weeks. We'll see if he maybe gets a skate in with the team before the All-Star break. But yeah, we might see Chytil skate with the team soon, if not before the All-Star break, hopefully after the All-Star break. And like I said about the bottom six, Barclay Goodrow, Blake Wheeler, Jimmy Vesey, Will Cooley. I mean, listen, those guys are role players. They're not supposed to be providing 5-on-5 oozing offense, all right? You're supposed to hem the puck in the offensive zone, keep the puck out of your own end. You just play like a banging game in the offensive zone. That's Laviolette's style anyway. Hard on the forecheck. I really hope that at least the defense stays where it is. I'm okay with it. I mean, obviously, they've looked really, really, really bad in some situations. But then they look really good. So it's a little confusing because I mean, the offense, I guess it makes sense. It's dried up. It's stayed dried up. It's stayed dried up since the beginning of the season. Honestly, the 5-on-5 scoring has not been here since the beginning of the season, other than that Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere line. But yeah, complete chaos in New York. Sky's falling, but they're still first place in the division. All right, I want to talk about some stuff that's going on in the NHL right now. Storylines flying through this league, and the drama around its players is something we don't see often in the NHL, at least. So the story is he wanted to sign and go pro. Flyers wanted him to develop. They didn't want to go over a certain number for their performance bonus if they signed him. I'm not sure of how the math worked on that, but that was the story. Gauthier exploded at the World Junior Championship this year, and that's where the breakup ensued. Gauthier was dealt the former 5th overall pick, dealt to the Anaheim Ducks for Jamie Drysdale along with a 2nd-round pick. Does Gauthier stay in Anaheim? Does he want to be known as a player who wants out before he's even established himself in the NHL? For 2 teams, essentially. I don't think he wants to be known as Pierre-Luc Dubois 2.0. He stinks, by the way. I would love to see him end up back in the Metropolitan Division. Cutter Gauthier, I think it would be hilarious to see him have to play the Flyers 4 times a year. Maybe with the Penguins, we'll see. But, Adam Fox did that as well. Didn't want to play for Carolina, didn't want to play for Calgary. He wanted to play for the team he grew up rooting for, which was the New York Rangers. So I guess Cutter Gauthier could technically play for the Penguins if he follows Adam Fox's route. But then Gauthier went on an interview and defended himself, saying that the Flyers had reoccurring issues that, Gauthier saw that it may have caused problems in the future for himself. He didn't feel comfortable, pursuing a future with the Flyers. So, the 2 sides parted ways. Patty Waugh hired by the New York Islanders. I think this is amazing for the New York Islanders. It's Lou Lamoriello's last-ditch effort to save his job, in my opinion. You go from entertaining winning hockey under Trotz to boring, very loose hockey under Lambert, and the Islander fans ate that guy alive. I don't feel bad for him either. He deserved it. Like I said, very loose and boring hockey, man. And it kind of got in Sorokin's head a little bit, and Sorokin's not that kind of goalie. Lou Lamoriello goes out and gets one of the best goaltenders, if not the best goaltender of all time, as their head coach to kind of come in and, I don't think he's going to get in Sorokin's head too much, but I think it's great that him and Varlamov now can maybe get a little more confidence from a legend, It's great. Look at the Edmonton Oilers and what they're doing. They got Paul Coffey behind that bench. He was in that hire with Chris Knobloch, so these legends, they come and they know what they're doing. But Patrick Waugh, I think it's going to be great for the Islanders, like I said. Their expected goals last night against the Golden Knights were the best they had in a while. The best all season at 6. Now they got about 41 games to squeak into a playoff spot. I have no idea how they play under Waugh over the next couple weeks. We don't really know how they're going to be playing until we see them play for a couple weeks. They need to win games in those couple weeks as well. The season's going to keep going. Other teams are going to keep winning. The Islanders just need to worry about what they're doing and win games. Look what the Oilers did, like I mentioned. I feel like the Oilers and Islanders here, I feel like those... The Oilers are kind of at a head start because they already made the head coaching change, but I feel like if the Islanders can get their stuff going, them and the Oilers are two very similar teams, but they're kind of like the veteran-ish teams where, all right, I can see those two teams meeting in the Cup Finals. What I'm saying, I don't know what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. There you go. Now, the Vancouver Canucks can't stop winning hockey games. They are a very good team. Rick Tocchet, head coach of the year, no doubt. They're not in win-now mode. They remind me of the Devils a lot last year. They're exceeding expectations. Expected to make the playoffs, yes, but not nowhere near how good they're doing. Now, what do they do at the deadline? They already added Nikita Zadorov. Their blue line did take a little bit of a hit over the last couple of weeks. Do they add on the back end? The Canucks are going to be a fun team to watch over the next couple weeks. I think they'll be a little bit active with Jake Gensel. I really don't know what's going to happen with that. I would love to see Jake Gensel getting a chance to play playoff hockey once again because it doesn't look like the Penguins are going to be making the playoffs this year. It'll break Sidney Crosby's heart, I know that, but I think the Vancouver Canucks, like I said, they're not in win-now mode, as in they need to acquire guys or sell off their assets. They have a lot of good pieces to be really good right now and within the next couple of years. So they really can sit on the season they're having. They don't really need to swing big for the fences, but the way that the Canucks are going right now, I mean, when they traded Bo Horvat, I really thought that team was just going to start selling off most of their assets, but the way that they've turned around is really impressive. I had them dead in the water like maybe a year and a half ago, but they have completely turned that ship around. JT Miller's become one of the best players in the league. The Winnipeg Jets just don't allow goals. They gave up 4 to the Bruins on Monday. First time giving up more than 3 goals in 35 games. Incredible. I mean, the way that this team can just shut everyone down is really impressive. Rick Bowness has gotten that team going. Connor Hellebuyck has found his game back to a number 1 established franchise goalie. And the Winnipeg Jets are really playing good hockey. And that's what you like to see. Just a really good hockey club. I like the Winnipeg Jets. I think they have a good playoff future ahead of them. Another team where I don't know what's going to happen with them at the deadline over the next couple weeks as well. We'll see what ends up happening. Only 2 regulation wins for the Kings over their last 12 games. Kings organization said that they're going to be sticking with Tom McClellan. I think it's hilarious that they have to even address that with all the head coaching changes in the NHL. Even in the NBA, I guess, a little bit of comfort for Tom McClellan saying, don't worry, your job is safe. So the Kings obviously will not be moving from him. But the Kings are in a little bit of a skid, as is the Rangers. I wanted to talk about those two teams riding such a high, and now they're at a little bit of, maybe, hopefully, for both teams, their lowest low of the season. We will see what ends up happening over the next couple weeks. Dubois is really hurting the Kings. I mean, he's not the main reason why the Kings are losing. Kings are playing very loose hockey now. After playing very structured hockey, Rangers and Kings, I'm talking about them as a duo for a reason. Both teams playing very structured hockey in the beginning of the season, falling off a little bit, very loose now. Looking tired a bit. I don't know. Maybe a little fatigue has set in. Practicing really hard. Practicing every day. Getting back to the routine after an off season. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions now. I appreciate you guys watching and hearing me talk about nonsense. Leave a like if you guys did enjoy it. Again, thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. It means the world to me. Like I said, leave a like, and I'll see you guys later.